May 19th, 2023. I'm here with Janet Weber. And Janet, if you could say your occupation.
My occupation was, I'm a retired social worker.
Okay. Did you have any areas of specialty that in your social work practice?
I work for Los Angeles County with children
Mm-hmm.
in California Children's Services
Mm-hmm.
for 35 years.
Wow, it's a long time, huh? Are you
Well,
from California?
It went pretty fast.
I
Yes, I grew up in Compton, actually, and then I've been in Southern California all my life.
Mm-hmm. So were you, did you have siblings?
Yes, I'm the oldest. I have a younger sister, 4 years younger, two
Mhm.
younger brothers, one 10 years younger and one 21 years younger.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
different father.
Two of them or four of them?
Just the one that's 21 years younger is different father. Yeah.
So as you know, this segment of our collection is about your career,
Okay.
how you made the choices. Try to think of someone who is looking to figure out where direction they wanted to go.
It's so different today, but okay.
But what made you choose social work?
Well, it's not a noble reason. I chose it because
It doesn't have to be.
Because my mother thought I should be in a helping profession. I really had wanted to go into medical records librarian. I wanted to be a medical records librarian, but I was in college and they brought the cats in to be dissected for a for a class, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it. And I just changed my entire major. And I thought, okay, all right, I went into psychology as an undergrad.
Mhm.
And then
Where did you attend school?
Cal State LA
Uh-huh.
as an undergrad.
Mhm.
And then I got a job at County Hospital as an admissions worker. And they don't do that anymore, I'm sure. We're just all in desks and we interview people to be sure they don't have any money. And then we give them a card. They can get care there. And it was a very boring job. And I noticed that the social workers, they had little offices of their own all around this big grouping, and they got more money. They had an office of their own. And I thought, well, why don't I just try to be one of them? And so I got the scholarship from LA County, and I went off to graduate school in Washington, social work graduate school.
So are those scholarships still available?
Oh, doubtful,
Mhm.
very doubtful.
Mhm.
I had to agree to coming back and working for the county for 1 year. And I stayed for 35. So I think
That was a pretty good deal, huh?
I hope they got their money's worth. I wasn't really too into it, but I had to support myself because I was a lesbian and there wasn't going to be a husband to support me. So I wanted as much money as I could make. And my mother wanted me to be of service, and it just fell into it kind of.
Mhm. Was your mother in the service field?
No,
No.
she was just a very real religious person
Mhm.
who thought we should be of service, which is true.
Mhm.
It's true. But there's different ways to be of service now. Back then, you know what she told me? When I was little, she asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I said, I didn't know. She said, well, you have your choice. You could be a secretary, a nurse, or what was the other one? Teacher.
Mhm.
And I
We've
said,
heard that story.
Mother, I don't want to do any of those. She
Mhm.
said, well, you have time to decide. And
Mhm.
that was
But
19.
that was so many women have said those same things. That those were the choices.
Isn't that awful?
But that's what, if you think
Ugh.
their choice wasn't even there, they were mothers. But you bring up a good point, and that is, as lesbians, we have to look at supporting ourselves.
Exactly.
So to move to an occupation that pays higher than another lesser one is
Yeah.
important, because you're still investing time. So that time is going to gain you some income as well as doing something that you like.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe. Yeah.
So
No, financially, that was a very wise move on my part
mhm.
because I have now I'm financially secure in my
Right.
old age.
So you have did you get a retirement from the county?
Yes, a nice one.
Good.
I'm still in the original plan, and I'm very fortunate, very grateful to the county for their benefits.
What year did you start your official employment with them?
60.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute. I graduated in 65. Oh, my official social work employment was 71
Mhm.
in 1971 when I graduated from social work school. But before that, as a caseworker, I'd spent about 4 years doing that. So
Uh-huh.
it was a 60.
What was one of your most interesting cases? You don't
My
have to
most
give any names.
interesting social work cases.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Diane. I can't think of any that
That's-
was interesting. I can't.
yeah.
I
The
went.
stories. I think the social work, as you know, I'm a therapist too. The stories are intriguing. They sort of capture you. So
Well, the problem was that I didn't have much interest in what I was doing.
I see.
I'd gone to social work school for the money, not because I wanted to be a social worker. So it was rather hard to get involved with the population that I was assigned to,
Mhm.
because when I came back to work, they put me in pediatrics, and I did not like children.
Mhm.
I didn't like people a whole lot, but especially children. I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't know how to talk to them. And it was just really difficult for me. I would tell mothers who had children with like CP or some minor problem, I would say, well, I'll show you how to put them into foster care so they can get adopted. I would tell them the most ridiculous things. And because I was so out of it at that time. I just, I don't think I was very helpful at the beginning of my career. It was
Oh, you
difficult.
were new at it too.
I was new at it. I
Right.
didn't know what in the world I was doing. I didn't really want to be there. I was also doing a lot of drinking in those days. So that interfered.
I'll say.
However, I did get sober during my county employment.
Great. Good for you. How many years were you drinking prior to? Did you drink as a teenager?
No, I didn't drink until I was 21.
Mhm.
And I was 29 when I stopped.
Uh-huh. Did you?
It wasn't a long time, but fortunately,
Right.
the help I needed.
Did you have a mentor that drew you to getting help? A certain person that you think back, say, well, I'm so glad I knew that person.
Well, I had a lot of friends who mentioned that maybe my drinking was out of control. I can't I don't know which ones, but I think it was obvious to some people,
Right.
which was very helpful. I'm grateful for them.
Right. When did you become aware that you were a lesbian?
Well, I was 58, 60. In 1960, I went to a church college in Blair, Nebraska. And it was, I had been to a Lutheran Bible school before that. And I just thought it was a natural thing to go to a church college, and I went to this college because I thought I could find a husband. I wanted to be, I was a church organist. I played the piano.
Did you?
I just
Wow.
needed I just needed a husband, you know. And so I went to, excuse me, I went to this college and I did fall in love, but I fell in love with a woman.
Mhm.
And that was
Were
my
you surprised by that?
first surprise.
I mean, since you were going seeking a husband, you met a woman,
It
So-
was totally surprised
right?
and also surprised and horrified because this wasn't actually a respectable thing to be. And certainly went against all the religion that I'd been taught. I
Right.
had a hell of a time, but I knew it was me. I knew it was real, and I
Mhm.
was really in love.
That's
so-
great. Was that your first experience with a woman?
Yep.
Intimate relationship?
Yep.
How long did that last?
Well, school was out. You know, I just stayed at that college for 1 year.
Oh, I see.
She
Short
told
time.
me she wanted to get married and have children. And so it didn't, so now I went back to Los Angeles. She went back to Iowa or somewhere. And then we never did get back together. And I went into terrible depressions, and I was pretty suicidal about
Mhm.
thinking I didn't want to live without her. And the story, you know, one of those stories.
No,
And
no.
eventually I had
It's
to,
important to bring this up because this happens to many of us. You know, we just don't sail into our careers and life. It's,
that's true.
yeah, right.
Well, when I came back, I did share that with my mother. And I also came back and got engaged to my boyfriend from high school.
So what'd your mother say when you shared that with her?
She was not surprised.
Uh-huh.
She was very helpful. She
Good.
went with me to talk to the ministers from the Bible school, who they must not have thought, they didn't know what in the world to say to
Right.
something. And they were baffled. They just said, well, pray about it. Just pray. And
Pray it away, right?
pray it away and date men, and you'll probably be fine.
Mhm.
Well, so I did, and I wasn't fine.
Mhm.
No, finally one day I just said, fuck it. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, but I'm done with this. I know who I am. And if I go against the religion that I've been taught, so be it. I had to do that. And that's when my drinking started. And that's when I started
Really.
having different relationships. And
And at that time, were you then directing your relationships towards men?
no, I said, when I finally, I stopped that, and I
Uh,
just started dating women.
mhm. And were you
And
living with
that-
your mother?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to say that fiance I had,
Mhm.
that I had to break up with him, fortunately for him.
Mhm.
I never told him the reason because it was shameful back in those days. I didn't want him to know that. But now I wish I had told him.
Maybe he's still around.
I've been looking for him, can't find him.
It's not easy, is it? No. Sometimes they pop right up, but other times they don't.
No, I wish I could.
Mhm. Have had that discussion, right?
Yeah.
I understand that. So then you're finished school, you began your work. Did you engage in other activities when you were growing up that were directing you in your direction career-wise? Did you counsel students, your classmates?
No, I think I feel a bit stumped here because I just was a social worker with the children and families until the end of my career.
Oh,
When I was-
really? You must
Yeah.
have gotten no children by that time, huh? That's really hard if you're,
Never did. Now
Yeah.
I adore children. I can't go buy one without relating. I just
Really?
adore children. I've got a grandma's, you know, well,
uh,
Anyway,
But now when you pass by them, you talk to them and engage them?
I talk to them, I look at them, they look at me, they just warm my heart.
Really? Huh?
Yeah, I just wish I had some grandchildren or great grandchildren of my own, but my sister's kids, I started to love them.
Mhm.
That's what did it.
No, I think that that attraction with children and for children, I don't have that either. My partner does. In the office, children never cried when she's a surgeon.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I mean, and we have a daughter, she also relates very well to children. I like children, but they don't come to me. And
Uh,
so there's something to that.
it is, I guess, yes.
See, now you have it.
I have it now, and I think what I would like to do, I just heard about this. I would like to go to Children's Hospital and volunteer to hold babies or relate to to be a volunteer some kind of way. I think I would really enjoy that. I had an
really use your help too.
I hope so.
Because not only are you just a person who would like to hold babies, you're an educated person who has been around children for years. You're just not saying, "Oh, I think I'll hold babies."
No, I know it.
But
But
I know, but you know, you come with a lot of background that I would think they'd be interested in.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
Not sure, but
worth
I
a
hope
try.
so.
Right.
It's worth a try. I also had a career as an organist in a church.
Are you doing that
Yeah.
now?
Nope, I'm just a substitute now.
Uh-huh.
I'm in a church that's very welcoming and in Hollywood. And I was at that church for many years as their organist, and now I'm the sub.
Mhm. Was that by your design?
Oh, yeah,
You want,
definitely. I had to sub for a year before they found another permanent organist. So yes, I'm very happy with her. And
good.
happy not to play anymore. I love playing the organ. And the piano, but I didn't want to be employed any longer.
Mhm. It was nice to say, "Oh, I'll support you, but I won't be here every Sunday."
That's exactly right. Yes, exactly.
Those words sort of come to you, right?
Yeah.
So are you in a relationship at this time?
No, I haven't been in one since 2001.
Wow, quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while. Well, I had enough before, so
Did you?
I
You were
had
ready for a break?
yeah,
No,
Yeah.
that happens.
I had a relationship for 15 years was the longest one that I had.
That's
And
a long time.
yeah,
Mhm. Was that person in the same career path that you were in?
no,
No.
no.
You're still in contact with her?
Yes, she lives in Oregon now.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Where at?
I keep in touch. It's, you don't let the people that I've been closely involved with, they're in your heart,
Yeah.
unless it was horrible, they're in your heart there. It's a very special place for those people. And I have that for her, for
Good.
sure.
Where in Oregon does she live?
I don't know the name of the place exactly,
Uh,
probably in the outskirts somewhere of Portland.
mhm. We go to Oregon a lot, so that's why.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
We go to the coast.
Oh, the
Yeah.
coast. Yeah. Lincoln City and
Right.
around there.
Mhm.
That's beautiful.
And to Portland.
Oh, yeah.
March has family in Portland, so
Oh, really?
I like Portland. So what kind of advice would you give a young woman who's coming out and seeking a career direction? What was the most helpful to you? Doesn't have to be one thing, but it's a series of steps, as you know.
What would I guess I would tell a young woman now to follow her heart, follow her interests, not have to worry about being outed, We don't have to worry about that anymore, mostly in Los Angeles. Talk to people who are in the profession that you might be interested in and just do some research on it. We don't have limitations now. They don't. They don't have the limitations we had back then. We had to be so careful and not let anybody know that we were gay. Young women now don't have to do that. Can follow their heart, their dreams, whatever. It seems to me it would be a much easier time for them. I don't know many young women like to give advice to, but that would be if I had some.
So do you think that you were challenged, were you challenged in your career path because of your sexuality? Did you have to conceal it? Or were you able to be open?
I concealed it for the whole time until the very end of the career when I was working with.
Really? That's a long time.
I did. I never
Uh-huh.
did. I called, I would never disclose the sex of the person I was talking about.
Really?
If what I did for the weekend, well, we went here and they, now I'm using they for a different reason.
Right.
But then I used they to conceal the fact I was talking to my girlfriend.
Right. They
Yeah.
didn't ask when you're going to get married, Janet.
Yes.
They did ask you that, right?
Yeah.
And how would you answer that?
Now when I answer them
Yeah.
about getting married.
Yeah.
Oh, if I had a partner,
That's still a challenge.
I suppose it is.
Yeah,
But
for
I
women,
admire
that's
people get married.
right.
I admire that.
Mhm.
And two women getting married. My good friends just did that after they'd been together for about 20 years. They
That's
just
great.
made it legal and it changed their feelings somehow, they said. And I don't know that feeling. So I would love to have it, but I don't.
Don't give up. You're so young.
Well, yeah.
Please.
So young.
You're,
Thank
look
you.
at it this way. You've had a long break, so you're ready to start again.
That's true. I would
Yeah,
be.
why not?
Yeah, I would be.
I just joined this group, older lesbians, something. I didn't even know it existed because I thought it'd be a good way to let people know about this project. So just go online. Those groups are there.
Groups are there. I know. And that's a good idea. It's a very good.
Well, you're sort of safe because you don't have to go to some party to meet them.
No.
If they reject you, you can just, close down. So
Right.
I know how my response is. I just joined it last week. So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I've heard about them and I just haven't.
Yeah, there were more than one. I just picked one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for that encouragement.
Right. I mean, it's one thing. You're anonymous with a computer in a way that you're not if you're at a party or restaurant or work.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably also harder to really get to know someone, but that just would come later anyway. So,
right. So how do you like living in Mount Washington?
oh, there's no other better place to live.
Right.
I love it.
How
up
long have
here.
you lived here?
Forever.
Have you?
Yeah, from the time I started, 20 years, 25. Different places with
Right.
that my relationship. We moved in different places up here, and and it's been a history moving around. But I love this area. I love this hill. Love it.
I do too.
No better place to live.
It's a place for living. I like it. So, do you have questions you'd like to ask me?
No, but I find that you're a very good interviewer, and I'm much more relaxed with you.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, than I was afraid I would be.
I know you were really anxious. That's normal. I mean, but you have a good story. and you're personable, so people say, okay, I'll get to know that person. So that's good. That makes it
Oh,
easier for
yeah.
the interviewer.
Oh, good. Thanks, Diane.
Mhm. But if you knew that your life was ending soon, how would you like people to remember you? Or what would you like to be remembered for, I guess?
Oh, I was wondering about that myself because I've been to some funerals lately where the women they were so loved and that people were raving about what they did and what they accomplished and
Mhm.
all that. And I thought, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know what they would do at my funeral. What would they say? What would I want them to say?
Mhm. What would you, not them, what would you like to be remembered for?
Well, that's what I mean.
Mhm.
I hope I would be remembered as a good friend,
That's
a,
good.
a loving friend.
Mhm. I like that.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to go.
Well, I'm glad you're doing this project. I really am.
Thank you.
It's a valuable. It's valuable for our community.
Well, I think the career thing path is, as you said, lesbians have to support themselves, and what they do career-wise is a big factor in that.
Sure is.
And you're going to invest time, whether you like your job or not. So you might as well do something you like.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mhm. And it takes time sometimes.
To find out what you want.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah. And you can change midstream even.
That's a
People
good
do
thing.
that. Yeah.
I like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Options. So thank you. I'll say goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank